philosopher was born in a Greek settlement in Anatolia between 412 and 404 BCE. Almost nothing of his childhood is known except that his father was a banker and that possibly Diogenes had a career in banking too. At some point in his adulthood, he was exiled from the city of his birth for defacing the currency. Why he defaced the money is unclear, but nonetheless he was forced to move, and he chose Athens. A story goes that Diogenes spoke with the oracle at Delphi to ask for advice, and she told him to deface the currency. It was at this moment that he realized he should deface the political currency rather than the actual coins themselves. At that point, he made it his life's goal to challenge the established customs. In Athens, Diogenes took on various traditions held by his fellow man. He felt that customs were a security blanket that covered over true human morality. Instead of facing the true nature of evil, Diogenes argued, people invented customs to help them relieve the burden of knowledge of evil. This theme was favored by many ancient Greek thinkers. Antisthenes, a student of Socrates, agreed to tutor Diogenes. His teachings included an avoidance of worldly pleasures. Diogenes quickly surpassed Antisthenes, both in reputation and in leading a simple life. Diogenes was well known in Athens in his own lifetime, both for his satisfaction with almost nothing and for the consistency with which he led that life. He lived for some time in a very large tub that provided him with a minimal amount of protection from the weather. On one occasion, while watching a peasant boy drinking water from his hands, Diogenes threw away the only wooden bowl he had. Diogenes also made a name for himself by standing against certain social structures. Although it was considered improper to eat within the marketplace, Diogenes did just that. If anyone spoke to him in a rebuke, he would give a reply such as, "It is when I am in the marketplace that I am hungry." The philosophy of Stoicism, founded by Zeno, was promoted by Diogenes. It was the idea that emotions, and particularly negative emotions, obstructed a person's ability to see the world as it really was. On a voyage to Aegina, Diogenes was taken captive and sold as a slave in Crete to the Corinthian Xeniades. When asked about his trade, Diogenes replied that the only trade he knew was that of governing men. He remained in Corinth as a tutor to Xeniades' two sons for the remainder of his life, dying in the year 323 BCE. Diogenes was a man of such regard that he is one of the few men who publicly mocked Alexander the Great and lived. The story goes that Alexander was traveling about Corinth, and when he heard that Diogenes was there, went to visit him. Once the two finally met, Alexander asked Diogenes if he could do anything for him. Diogenes replied, "Yes, stand out of my sunlight." To which Alexander declared, "If I were not Alexander, then I should wish to be Diogenes." Quotes by Diogenes. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Modesty is the color of virtue. Of what use is a philosopher who doesn't hurt anybody's feelings? If a rich man, when you will. If a poor man, when you can. Diogenes was known to carry a lamp around the street of Athens in broad daylight. When asked why, he would reply, "I am looking for an honest man."